Summer runners, Coach Crane here again with this week I wanted to talk about another ab workout that you can do to help strengthen your core. This particular workout, it is going to work many parts of your body, so we're going to want to warm up for it, as well as again, just use your discretion. If you have any prior injuries, think about that before you end up trying any of these exercises. The plan for this is to do it entirely standing up, so that even if you're in a place where you don't feel comfortable sitting down or lying down on the ground to work your abs, you have no excuse not to do this. Now, as far as equipment is concerned, you may want to consider having some weights with you, but you don't actually need to have necessarily any equipment except possibly your running watch. Mainly so that you can take time. So here is the sheet for that workout for you to take a look at. Again, there's a warm-up. There's the main part of the workout where you need to go ahead and do it two sets of it, and then there's the cool down. Now, as you can see, I've written 1 minute next to a lot of these, and that's simply to show that you're going to do that workout for a minute. So that's why you need to have some kind of timer. Again, the total time of this, because it's a standing up workout and because it's just more options for you, is about 12 minutes if you did it all the way through. But if you want to shorten it, you can always do the ones I underlined with a black Sharpie, and that'll be about 5 minutes. Alright, so let's get started with this. Again, there's no sitting down or lying down for this workout. You want to have 2 sets of weights, maybe one that's relatively light, one that's relatively heavy, and you need to have some space to walk, so that's why I have this here. Alright, the first thing for a warm-up would be just twisting your abdomen. That's going to help you with your back, as well as just getting your body moving, because again, especially your back, you need to be careful with it. Just going all the way across, all the way back, and just controlling. Now, as you're doing this, you should go ahead and first kind of suck in your abs a little bit, so that it's controlled and it's not just simply you throwing your arms across your body. That's the twist. You do that for 1 minute. The suck it up, that's simply a matter of trying to go ahead and show your ribs by sucking in your stomach as much as possible. So and again, you might say, I can't do that for 1 minute because I can't breathe, but you can tell I'm talking while I'm sucking this in and holding it. So you go ahead and suck it in for 1 minute, as long as you can. If you need to take a break during that time, okay, but try to keep it as long as you possibly can. And that, again, activates everything in the center region. Okay, so that's the part of the one. And the third one would be, of course, just kind of rolling your shoulders, because you're going to be doing a little bit of shoulder work, and not knowing what kind of condition your shoulders are in, you definitely want to warm them up and such, making sure they're all ready. I have a previous shoulder injury. I need to make sure this right shoulder is completely warmed up. Alright, so in the main workout, again, you're going to end up doing each of the next 4 things for 1 minute. And these are all things that are both left and right side, so you need to do them with the left and the right side. So the first one I call front knees. So I'm going to actually face this direction so you can see it. But you kind of reach up to the sky, kind of stretch out that area, and then at the same time you're going to bring your hands down while you bring your knee up. So like that. And you know, I do it so that you actually kind of a marching type motion. You do left and the right at the same time. So, and you do it for 1 minute. Now, one thing you'll notice is that that works a lot of your hip flexors, but it also ends up working your abs as well. All right, so just do that for 1 minute. That's in front of you, where you're going ahead putting your knees in front of you. Now, for the oblique knees, what you can end up doing is you're going to look funny doing this anyway, but you can kind of put your hands up to the side of your head, and then you want to, at the same time, bring your elbow, go down to the side of the knee that you're bringing up, and just bring it to the side. You try and get your elbow underneath your knee. And you do that for both sides. Now, really focus on using the muscles. This is not aerobics. You're only doing it for 1 minute. So focus on contracting the muscles. The reverse wood chop. Again, this is where you'd end up taking the lighter weight. But if you don't have weights, you can always end up just kind of putting your hands together as if you're carrying an axe. And again, the normal axe, you kind of come down like this. The reverse is just kind of bring it up. And again, we're not going to end up putting too much hip in everything. We're not concerned with the hips as much, but we are concerned with going ahead and rotating your body all the way back. All right, so just like that. And again, you make it a little bit harder, but you got to be careful with it if you end up adding some weight. And then slowly down. Slowly down. And again, if you have shoulder problems, you might want to consider not using weights. But you do that for the right, you do that for the left. Again, going across, taking the weight across your body, fighting gravity. Do that for 1 minute. Farmer's carry. Farmer's carry is where you take a heavier weight and whatever you have around. The idea is that you are making you're no longer symmetrical. You got more weight on one side of your body, and you just simply try and walk in a straight line without dipping down. So this is not level terrain, but I'm going to do my best to do that. And around, walk back. And again, you would do that on both sides, the right and the left. And again, this causes your abs to maintain your posture. On this side, this part of your abs is having to work a little bit to try and maintain your posture so you're not dipping down. If the heavier the weight you have, the better off you are with it. But again, you don't want to end up having problems with any of the weightlifting. Push-ups. Hopefully you all know how to do push-ups. But basically just do push-ups to failure. But those 4 that I just showed you, the front knees, the oblique knees, the reverse wood chop, and the farmer's carry, you're going to do that 2 sets of that, 1 minute each. And then you do push-ups to failure. Now as a finisher, just to kind of finish and see how you're doing, if you worked enough, because who knows, maybe you do 3 sets of those. It's an extra 4 minutes, or actually 6 minutes. It's an extra 6 minutes to do another set of that. But you just basically bring your knee up, hold it there, 1 minute. At first, this also helps with the idea of proprioception, being able to go ahead and knowing your place in space, where you go ahead and you may start to wobble a little bit. But it's good for you to be able to stand on one leg and have those foot muscles and lower leg muscles contracting. But as I said, you're going to work your hip flexors here, but there's also, because they're connected to your abs, you're also going to be working your abs to be keeping that foot up there. Okay? So you do that on both your right and your left side. So again, that was workout number 2 with abs.